Yo, what's up guys? Turn Green Go Ham and welcome to the Dark Souls Remastered walkthrough. So I got a few requests for this and we're going to knock it out. So thinking about it, it seems that most people are interested in a quality build with a side of pyromancy. So that's the route we're going to go for this playthrough. However, let me talk to you about this playthrough. So this is going to be similar to the Bloodborne playthrough, if you watch that. In the fact that we're pretty much going to break the game. Like I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks, and we're gonna talk about how to get overpowered early, where to go, what to do, and show you a few of the just like farming the online chalice dungeons in Bloodborne. There are ways to get ahead in Dark Souls Remastered. We're going to go through those. So this is very much going to be an OP break the game kind of play. Now. For those that prefer a standard walkthrough, I believe I'm going to do like a let's play after this, and maybe do like a dex build and do like more of a standard run through. So don't feel like if you're not into the OP break the game kind of play, don't feel like you're going to be left behind, because I am going to go ahead and do a regular let's play afterwards. But let's get in, let's get a character started, and yeah, let's get going. So obviously we all know the character's name. And also during this playthrough, I do plan on going through a lot of the lore. I do really enjoy the lore of this game, so there's going to be some of that thrown in there. We're going to go with male. For starting class, we're going to go thief, because we're going to be a scrub and use the master key. As far as the gift, though, we're going to take the black firebomb. We're going to use those early for something kind of cool. And I think I'm going to go very slim for the build. Face, we're just going to kind of randomize here. Yeah, let's go standard short. Why not purple hair? Just because. So anyway, let's get in there, and we're going to go ahead and in this playthrough, we're going to watch all the cutscenes. I'll probably skip through a lot of the dialogue unless it's something with a lot of lore implications, but here we go.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And seethed the scales betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Just a really awesome intro. I've always enjoyed that from this game.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Okay, so there's a lot of lore implications in that video. However, it does kind of only tell part of the story. So we will be going through and talking about some of that. That was our buddy Oscar who dropped us the key. We'll be meeting him shortly. But let's go ahead and pick up this dungeon cell key. And we'll go ahead and get started here. We will talk about lore as we go. Kind of pick and choose our times depending on what's going on with the story. You can kill these guys for some quick souls if you want. That being said, they only drop 20, so not really worth messing with. Let's go ahead and get on out of here and get going with the game. All the notes on the floor that you'll see will be developer notes only. I'm not online specifically for the purposes of the walkthrough so that we can, not mess with invasions. We may do that in the dexterity walkthrough, but there you can see they're just tooltips to help you get started in the game here. And here we are, our first bonfire. So we're about to come up to, I guess, what you would call a skill check, boss. If you want to get crazy with it, you can beat this guy with your bare fists. We're gonna go ahead and waste a firebomb instead of hitting the right button. But in this room, if you look up, you can see our first big bad right there. Now, it'll take a lot of rolling and a lot of, fisticuffs if you want to take him out. But that's why we started with the black firebombs. I'm going to go ahead and come in here. And as he starts dropping, I'm going to go ahead and start chunking. Ooh, and bad roll on my part. and about 5 black fire bombs. And the Asylum Demon is no more. So right out of the gate, we're going to get a really strong strength weapon, the Demon's Great Hammer. Now, also we're going to grab a humanity here. I will show you the Demon's Hammer. As you can see, it takes 45 strength to one-hand it. Of course, one and a half, so I guess at 30-ish, you'd be able to two-hand it. But that is a way to get that weapon early in the game. Here we are. We've got another bonfire here. Go ahead and rest and get our health back. Since we don't have any way of healing yet, that will change shortly. We're in our tutorial area here. Dodge the arrow. We grab our target shield, which is our first piece of gear. And honestly, it's one of my favorite shields. I am a big parrier in Dark Souls 1. And I really believe that's a skill that you have to learn in this game. It's not like Dark Souls 3 where you can basically just block and go from the get-go. I really think parrying is important in this game. Let's go ahead and switch out to the bandit's knife here, which let me show you that. So for critical hits, backstabs, ripostes, it has 147 critical multiplier. So this is actually a fantastic weapon for crits. And even as we switch to other weapons, we're going to be upgrading this bandit knife and keeping it specifically for parries and ripostes and whatnot. I don't know how you did that, but okay. I feel like I rolled that at the perfect time. Anyway, we're going to head out here, and if you chose a different starting class, a pyromancer, a sorcerer, a faith build, you're going to find wrong fog wall. Never mind, we'll talk about that again in a minute. We'll go ahead and head down here and open our pass-through gate. That's where our original bonfire is right there, where we took on the Asylum Demon. And then right here, you'll notice this this wall. It's kind of caved in and misformed. And then up here, you'll see that big circle. That's going to be a trap. So what we're going to do is run up till it moves, run down, let it break the wall, and here's our poor friend, Oscar.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
There we go. There's our heals.
Oh, and this.
And there's the big pilgrim's key that allows us to get out of here.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
So he alludes to the overall lore of the game where humans become undead. Undead have the dark soul of man within them. And as they die and come back as hollow, it happens over and over again, and a piece of their humanity is stripped away each time. You'll notice as you go through here, you find souls of knights and travelers and things like that. And basically, eventually, we become hollow and mad. And that's what's happening to him right now, unfortunately. But we'll get more into that lore later. If you did start as a different class, this was the right door. You'll find your pyromancer glove or your catalyst, what have you, over here. Now we've got a couple of regular hollows here. We'll bring him around the corner. See if we can get his attention. There is an archer back there that we'll also have to deal with. Take care of that one. Where's the next one? Here he comes. Be nice if I get a lock on. There we go. Ooh, that was late. And now we'll go take care of our archer friend. Bear in mind, you don't have to be locked on in this game for a backstab. Quick circle around will get you a backstab a lot easier than being locked on. Got a different hollow over here. And then as you can see, we've got a locked gate. So this locked gate we'll be back for later. We need another key. And that key is actually at Firelink, but we have to do a few things before we can get it. And then if we drop down right here, this is where you would normally come back and fight the demon with a plunge attack starting it off. And then out we go. So I do plan on showing you multiple ways to do things in this playthrough. So there will be some edits and whatnot so that, you know, I can show you a boss one way, followed by another way, and how to get certain things for each playthrough. So here we go. Don't forget your Soul of a Lost Undead here on our way out. One more thing to point out, over here on the right, this is your Snuggly the Crow nest. That's where you're going to trade items. We'll be doing that much later in the game. I do plan on getting the majority of the items that we can trade. There's some that I'm not going to want to trade, but we'll get them all eventually between the two playthroughs.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
You guys are about to see a cool magic trick. No tree? And tree. Anyway, I always thought that was interesting. They forgot something in the cutscene. So you'll notice that she talked about the chosen undead. We're going to round up some items as I talk here. She talked about the chosen undead, and there's a lot of back and forth within the community about, are you the chosen undead because you were born the chosen undead? Are you the chosen undead because you beat the Asylum Demon and were able to escape and therefore fulfilling the prophecy, becoming the chosen undead? Have there been chosen undeads before you? We don't know. But as of right now, we are the chosen undead. Now, there's a few items that we want to go grab. Now, these items are dangerous, and we could die doing it. So, what I want to do is I want to spend the souls I have. From this point on, we'll be saving up a lot of souls for a while. But for right now, I want to spend the souls I have because we're going to be going after a few items that are a little tough to get to. And we may die. It just may happen. So let's go ahead and level up. And the first thing I want to be working on is strength. We're trying to get that up to 16 early for an early decent weapon. So as you can see, 82 souls. If we die, no big deal. Let's talk to our OG Blue Boy. I say OG, really, he reminds me of the guy from Demon Souls, so I guess he's the second.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on. But I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So, welcome to Dark Souls. That's your tutorial. That tells you where to go. There's no quest markers. There's no map. You just got to figure it out from here. Down here, we've got our Firekeeper. This is where we're going to upgrade our Estus Flask. Firekeepers are interesting as they're linked to a fire. So long as the fire up top persists, so will she. So long as she persists, so will the fire up top. And we'll see that kind of play out later on. Let's go ahead and talk and we'll find out that she cannot speak. She can, however, reinforce your Estus Flask. You can attempt to talk to her more if you want, but she's not much of a conversationalist, and then we can leave. So head on over here. We're going to go down, and we're going to truck it into New Londo for a minute. Like I said, this is probably going to be a death run. I'm okay with that. We did get some homeward bones. We will try to make it out without dying. Oh, no, we didn't get homeward bones yet. We'll pick those up here in a little bit over by the graveyard. So, this will most likely be a death run, and I'm perfectly okay with that. We don't have any humanity at the moment, and we are not alive, so I'm not worried about it. We will also be doing a humanity run. I'm going to try to keep 10 soft cap humanity, and we'll be keeping the gold serpent ring on. You guys wanted to see a plethora of weapons, and I will oblige to the best of my ability, which means we need a lot of item discovery, which is 10 soft humanity and the gold serpent ring. I will be showing you where to farm Titanite. I feel like that should have been a backstab, but okay. I'll be showing you where to farm Titanite, and I'll be taking timeouts to do that myself so that we can level up multiple weapons. You'll see multiple weapons on the playthrough, so it can help you decide what kind of weapons you would like. So we got our S stock, best stock, and now we grab a couple of transient curses. Transient curses we'll use down here when we're actually ready to go through New Londo. But for now, we are just here to grab an item. And it's an item that will help you out dramatically in the early game. However, you're going to die grabbing it. It just is what it is. Be prepared. These guys are brutal. You can't harm them without the transient curse. We're going to run fast as we can across this very narrow bridge. Grab the Firekeeper soul. And I mean, we can try to get out, but I don't think it's going to happen. Head back the way we came. Look at that. Look at that. We're actually going to make it out. All right. So we got our Firekeeper soul. That's what we use to take our Estus Flask up in power. Another thing you can do is pop them for souls and humanity. You would never want to do that on your first playthrough, but it does give them some usefulness for your following playthroughs. Real quick, we'll stop off and meet our first blacksmith of the game.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Rickert of Vinheim. I was once an established smith, though. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
So after he intros himself to you, you can...
What? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. I can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
And there you go. So he's going to be our first blacksmith for upgrading. We can reinforce weapons on the standard upgrade. And he will also allow you to upgrade magic top weapons and things like that. So anyway, he does have... Let's look real quick. I'll show you his inventory. He does have a few items as well. He's got the heavy soul arrow, regular soul arrow, and then of course a sorcerer's catalyst. So if you didn't start as a sorcerer, but you want to have sorcerer tools, this is where you would go early game to get started in that. Now always be careful when you exit his menu. If you're to hit back multiple times, you will jump directly off to your death. So we've got one more place to go grab some items real quick. And this too may include some death runs. We got lucky on the last one. We got our master key so we can open this gate. Be a nice soul here for us. Pick that up. And then down here we've got just a whole bunch of drakes and a dragon. And this is actually an undead dragon. They come in a couple of setups in this game. First off, you've got the upper half like this one. And some places you have the lower halves, and some places you have them with an upper half and only one side. It's just, it's all kind of a mashup here. So there are a couple of items here. There's 3 actually. You can pass him. And you can grab this item. He won't actually aggro for that item. And if you're very, very careful about it, you can get the left item without aggroing him. Just as a heads up, the second he comes up, he will do a claw swipe. It'll be very tough to dodge that, followed by some poison breath. So we're trying to get one item without waking him up. There we go, we got it. And this is the other item we're after, and he's going to pop up immediately. So now, we just try to get out, and we didn't make it. Very rarely you will make it out. But we were here for the items, so that's fine. We will be able to get past him. Okay, so as we approach the dragon this time, the undead dragon, he's going to be awake and ready to do some damage. We'll just bait one of his attacks and get by that way. We already have the items, so we don't have to stop for anything. So we want him to start spewing, and then basically head through. As it starts spewing again, you'll miss the swipe there, and we're scot-free. And by scot-free, I mean not even remotely, because we still have to get past a bunch of drakes. These drakes, they will murder you. They're no joke. But what we're going to do is really quick die. That's all right. I'll see you guys back here in a second. Okay, guys, so we did make it back. I'm going to go ahead and grab these souls. So instead of quickly dying, what I was trying to say is we're going to quickly roll to the left as he starts to do his breath. So you want to start with a run and then roll over to the left. It's kind of sketchy with the side of the cliff there. You might fall off. This is why we spend our souls before we come down here, because it could result in quite a few deaths. But we're going to go ahead and try it again here. And we made it. We've got one more to get by here. And we're going to head right up in here. Into the tower. Go ahead and ride this up. And there's really no reason for this. There is a bonfire in case you need it, but I highly recommend you don't rest here. Just light it. Go on about your business. This is going to be our first pathway into Darkroot, and we'll explore that a little bit later, a little more later. But here's a bonfire right here. We'll light this. This just gives the drakes a chance to reset. We've got to go back down there, and we've got to tangle with a few more of them and get a little bit lucky, honestly. But there's a few more items we're after down here. So once you pop around this door, that's when you're going to have to be ready to move again. So we've got quite a few drakes around here, and our main goal is to get across the bridge that we saw. There's some items halfway across the bridge, and then there's a ladder that we want to get to and get to the top of the tower. Now, once we do this, you can die, you can homeward bone, whatever you want if you already picked up the homeward bones. I didn't, so I'll probably just take a death, and we'll be back at Firelink Shrine, which is fine. We're going to roll past this guy. Get a quick roll before it's too late. And up the ladder we go just as fast as possible. There is a good chance you may die getting up here. Okay, that's why we're here with no souls. So one of the most important items we picked up over there was the spider shield, and we'll go over that here in a second. Red Tearstone Rings. So if you're wanting to do a hopper build, this is where you pick it up. And we will be showing off some hopper build stuff later. But as you can see, these guys are all riled up. There's no way to get rid of them. There's honestly no way to get back safe. So it's either homeward bone or take a dive. But real quick, let's take a look at the spider shield. So the spider shield is going to be a 62%, a 62 physical attack type shield, but 100% physical block shield. It also has incredible fire damage reduction. The more important part is right here, the small flavor text has resistance to poison. So even though it's not reflected on the information here, it does severely dampen poison damage that comes to the shield. But in addition, though it doesn't say it here, it also does toxic, and it's actually a 100% block to toxic. And as we go down into Blighttown for some items, it's going to be incredibly invaluable, and that's why we picked it up on the bridge here. So guys, I'm going to take a dive. I'll see you back at Firelink for the next episode. In the next episode, we do have some more items to go pick up. There's a few areas that we're going to head off to before we go to Undead Burg. And Undead Burg, we're not looking to kill any bosses for a bit. We are going to do some things to make our character extremely powerful. So if you're enjoying the series, drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me up in that comment section down below. Till the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.